So that does mean the UD Soldier, he is out of the tournament, and here we go. We're spawning in to the Old Republic. In the bottom hand corner, we have the red Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes, the Italian Protoss. It is LetaleX. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the German Terran player. We have the blue Terran. It is Moja. Let's go. Let us go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat, as this is the final series of the broadcast. Coming into this matchup here, it's going to be a harder one to call. I think I do lean towards Moja, but I also have to respect that LetaleX has been improving a lot over the past 12 months. Even I would say almost 24 months at this point, but he has been doing very, very well for himself, improving so much. For those who are unfamiliar, Moja is a very aggressive player. He's not on the level of Honmono. Like, Honmono is like an animal, like but Moja is animalistic. Like Moja, he's often going for cheeses and all-ins and hyper aggression, but it's not as extreme as Honmono, for example. It's not as extreme. So expect all-ins or expect mech, right? Moja, he's also a mech enjoyer, and he's not afraid to mech it up against Protoss. Not afraid. So we'll see where he takes us. As now LetaleX does back in, is going to be Marine first, is going to be initially an economic opener. Single gas, so racks expand out of Moja, going for the economic start. Does go for an economic opener here as we do settle in. Welcome to the Old Republic. The Old Republic has a very open and exposed third and fourth base location, so because of that, we do typically expect aggression in the mid game. But do you see what I see? I see a second rack. So this is the beginning of either a 3 racks or a 2-on-1. Regardless, early stim, hyper aggression out of Moja. As I mentioned from the beginning of the series, like, we expect aggressive builds here out of our Terran player. So already kicking things off with an early stim timing. It's going to be on LetaleX to recognize what's going on and to react in kind. We have a reactive marine production into tech lab, into stim, and again we're leaning towards a third racks. No, hold on. This is not a 2-on-1. This is not a 3 racks. This is a 3cc 2-on-1. Okay. For those that are curious, this is a ZVT build. This is a very rare sight against Protoss, to the point where I don't think I've ever seen this against Protoss, actually. Like, we cast more StarCraft than anyone else out there. We cast more than Wardy, more than Steadfast, more than, like, Pig, Rotterdam. I don't think I've seen this build against Protoss before. Okay, Moja, show us what you got. Show us what you got. So basically, the way this works here against Zerg is that we're working towards a stim timing, but it's going to be a delayed stim timing because your factory and your starport are delayed because of this CC. So it's like an economic variation of a stim timing. Meanwhile, the hallucination does confirm everything, does scout and does confirm the initial build, and now is aware that we should be hitting at around 6 minutes. Starts hit at around 6 minutes. Back at home, LetaleX is throwing down his gateways, going for a very safe build, 3-gate blink. 3-gate blink into a robo. So a very safe build here by LetaleX. That is not a 3cc 2-on-1, that's a 3cc 3 racks. Okay. But so what this means though is that this means that the medevac timing is going to be even later, right? So this factory is even later than usual because it's after a third racks as well. So this will be a much later push. The advantage though is that we do have a very fast third TC. Like, I should put a little bit more emphasis on this, right? Like, yes, this is coming into a stim timing, but off of the back of a very fast third base, to the point where Moja should be able to skyrocket ahead in the mid game. Like, he should have a boosted economy with extra mules and extra SCV production. Meanwhile, Moja, he's pushing early. He's pushing without medevacs. So this is going to be a bit of a Bjorn move. Bjorn's very fond of this when it comes to pushing pre-medevacs, but with stim. Stim is done in a couple of seconds. So this will hit early, and we might even kill the Nexus. We'll see how this lines up. Marines, they move in. Nexus is not thrown down, so we'll just delay. Yeah, we'll kill the probe, we kill the pylon. Does delay the expansion, but unfortunately didn't force a cancel, we'll get a kill. Stims forward. Blink is not yet done. He gets one, he gets one, he gets two, he gets three. Yeah, 3 Stalkers going to be going down. It'll cost him everything though. Oh, and I don't think this was worth it. If this had actually killed or cancelled the base, then maybe. But the problem with what just happened here is that, remember, Moja, he was building up towards a 3-1-1 like stim timing. But now he just lost all of his Marines. So that timing, that breakout moment for him is that much weaker now. As he lost 13 Marines on 1 Marauder. So that means that Moja's stuck at home. And it means that Moja cannot expand. He cannot claim his third. Yeah, we just blink into the main base. Massive force field. The army's stuck with the low ground. No, he cannot move in. The force field is brutal. The boys are being pulled. And then she just snowballs out of control, just punishing Moja. Going for another warp in. Force field does not run out. We get a second force field. We just camp the production and Moja cannot keep up, cannot deal with this. We even just go for the kill. Oh my god, he kills the CC. He kills the command center. Brutal punish. And with that, LetaleX just snowballs out of control. Denies the upgrade. Combat shields is denied. Oh, a bit of miscontrol there as he did push forward. But LetaleX does pull out. He does pull out 13 SCV kills, and Moja, the economic advantage that he should have had isn't there anymore. He has lost that economic lead. He lost his third base. Again, he did miss his timing. I say he missed his timing. He went for an earlier premature push. He got punished for it. And now it all just snowballs out of control. LetaleX is miles ahead, getting his own third expansion, building up into the Bay, into Colossus, into splash damage. Again, Moja had potential with his build, but he was overly aggressive. Now losing a bunker, no refund. Thankfully doesn't lose the other. Without Moja, he is hurting. Likewise, another reason why this is hitting so hard is because there's no factory production, right? There's no tanks. There's no tanks behind this, so there's a weaker defensive setup. No tanks because of the delayed factory, due to the build of choice. And the reality is that there's nothing pressuring LetaleX to push in. Like, he doesn't have to break this position, doesn't have to push into the natural or into the main base. He's far enough ahead. As he does try to go for the backstab, but Moja is somewhat in position. So LetaleX has to be careful. Observers over the main army. And we're building on more Colossi. That's all we gotta do. Just calm down, back off, claim a fourth base, build up the Colossus, build up the splash damage. Oh no! He does move command in, Prism goes down, nice pick up here by Moja. Finally, something goes Moja's way, getting a free Prism, full of Zealots. Now this is it. I would recommend just pulling the boys and going for an all-in, but the problem here is that Moja, if you notice, rebuild his third. He's rebuilding his third CC, so that tells us he wants to try to get into the mid-game. But I don't know if he can. Yeah, not like this, not like this. He gets caught out. The Medivacs get focused down, losing 1, losing 2 Medivacs. Losing up to 3, the Zealots punish the ground army. Oof, and he cannot get away as Medivacs falling one after the other. 3 Medivacs left. Just those 4. The army does come in for a flank. Down to 2 Medivacs. And heavy losses. That was 5 Medivacs going down. 2 Medivacs remaining. They get spotted by the pylon. LetaleX should have defensive warp ins. There we go. Stalkers in position. And LetaleX just snowballs out of control. Boys are being pulled in a moment of desperation. Colossus just going ham here on the bio army. He's crazy. Kills all the SCVs. Meanwhile, dropping to the natural, GG gets called, and LetaleX will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. LetaleX will claim a lead in this series. And again, an interesting build out of Moja. Had potential for sure, but again, he chose to go for the Beyond push. He chose to go for the early timing, the early move out of here with Stim without any Medivacs. And he killed a probe, he killed the pylon, he killed 3 stalkers, but it cost him 13 marines. 13 marines, he lost his marauders as well. It was an expensive loss, and that triggered the counterattack, right? That did instantly trigger LetaleX pushing across the map, and then he just snowballed out of control. He was able to punish Moja for overextending, for losing too much. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into game number 2, and we'll see how our players do adjust, and what Moja brings to the table this time. I can't imagine we'll see the same build. Show us what else we got. Let's see. Let us see. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the Italian Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing the Platinum Heroes, leading the series 1-0. It is LetaleX. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Terran player. We have the German Terran. It is Moja. Down in this series, and we'll see if he can recover and bounce back. Now, welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is a smaller map, has a shorter rush distance by ground compared to Old Republic, compared to Winter Madness, compared to White Rabbit. So smaller rush distance by ground, more exposed 3rd and 4th bases. It is very common for Terrans to go for 2 base all-ins. 2 base all-ins are very, very common on this map. So we'll see if we're expecting that out of Moja, but what kind of variation, what kind of aggression do we see? Meanwhile, because of that, we often see very safe builds out of Protoss players. We even sometimes see Protoss players going for hard counters and going into like early charge, for example, to try to shut down tank-based all-ins. There is risk associated with that, of course. So we'll see. So we're getting into our openers. LetaleX going for his probe scouts. Aiming zone expands. Likewise, single gas opener out of Moja going for his own command center as well. So both players going for standard economic openers. Oh, wait, what? Moja, he had 400 minerals, but he chooses not to get the CC. Despite the single gas opener, he goes for the factory. Okay. Okay, Moja. Show us what you got. Again, because this Moja, he's banking resources, we'll see if he still expands. No shot we go for a 1 base all-in. 1 base all-ins are not unheard of in this matchup. You see them quite a lot from Honmono. You see them from players like Maru. Maru, he does mix in 1 base all-ins, but now with the resources we have, we should be expanding. Yeah, 400 minerals. There's a CC. We're opening up early Reaper Hellion. Okay. This should just be for scouting information. We shouldn't commit too hard into Reaper Hellion. Just 2 Reapers, 1 Hellion, scouting across the map. And we'll see where he takes us. No, he's making another wave. Okay, he's committing harder. He's doubling down. So because of this commitment, this does mean that Moja needs to find damage with this. Like, he's making extra Reapers, extra Hellions, so he needs to find some economic damage. Oh, LetaleX moves out with the hallucination, and LetaleX should confirm the commitment into Reaper Hellion. He spots a move out. Yeah, does spot the move out. Yep, he sees both Hellions, he knows. Back at home, army's getting ready. Gets eyes on the 1-1-1 follow-up. No battery in the main base, but there is a full wall off here on the high ground, so there's no Reaper Cliff available into the main. And LetaleX is ready. He's ready at the natural. Behind this, going 3-gate blink into a robo. Very safe build here by LetaleX. Going 3-gate. And we'll see what Moja can get done. Now, there is going to be a window of opportunity here with his Widowmine drop. Ideally, what we do here is use the Widowmine. You do one or the other. Either the Widowmine drop distracts for the Reaper Hellion, or the Reaper Hellion distracts for the Widowmine drop. But they should be hitting at the same time. Should be hitting. Hallucination rescouts, confirming the tech lab on the factory, confirming there is no Banshee follow-up. You can see here the Reaper Hellion is distracting the Stalkers. Does try to distract. So drop is coming in. Now we're getting up to another wave of stalkers. Medevac gets spotted. How do we respond? 3 stalkers in the main. Okay, there's 3 stalkers in the main base. Wouldn't mind here in towards the natural. So if I LetaleX defends well. Yeah, the wouldn't mind being very annoying. Delays the mining. And that's all the damage dealt. That's all the damage dealt here. There was no opening created. And LetaleX holds. Likewise, Blink is complete. Setting up for a third base. LetaleX moves out. And so far, this is a lackluster start from Moja. To invest into Reaper Hellion, to invest into the Widow Mine so far, he has not dealt any damage. Not yet. Back at home, tanks are in position. They were in position. Okay, there is an opening here now as the tank does reposition towards the ramp. Stalkers, they head straight for the mineral line, and they will one-shot SCVs. So far, getting 1, getting 2, getting 3. Do we get 4? No, 3. 3 SCV kills. Nice damage. Wood Drop is activated. Does head for the natural. And... oh no! Jesus. LetaleX does pull away. It does pull away in time. Despite that, Liberator does get 4 probe kills in total. Not bad. Yeah, that was a Liberator. So decent damage. The Widow Mines do manage to get into the medevac as well. So far that's 5 probe kills for 1 Hellion, a Reaper, a Liberator, 3 SCVs. So we have a bit of a back and forth trade. As LetaleX is not quite done. Going back in, gets a Marine. And once again, Moja is getting a 3rd CC. Okay, I'm a little bit surprised here by Moja's play, both in Game 1 and in Game 2. I mean, Game 1 made a little bit more sense because he still had a quirky build with it. But here in Game 2, we're still going for a 3rd command center here. We'll see if we can actually play the mid-game out against LetaleX. It's not easy. Oh. Yeah, there's an opening. What do I drop back into the main base? Looking for more damage. And hopefully he gets 2 more probes. It's 1. Ah, just the 1. Yeah, 1 more probe goes down. LetaleX, he finally does clean this up. Medevac will make it back home. Ideally, we'll see if we can bypass the stalkers. And Moja looks to expand. Oh, this is a bit of an earlier 3rd base as we're moving out before the orbital morphs in. Medevac does make it back. We'll bleed out 2 Marines in the process. LetaleX going for his own drop. And Moja is spreading himself thin here. Tanks a reposition to the 3rd. And the main base, there's still 1 tank, thankfully. 1 tank in the main. Marines as well. It's charge. Yeah, charge is done. And LetaleX, can he break this position? It all comes down to how the army is split. Where's all the supply? Prism is defected. LetaleX, now he can join up with his main army. Viking with their deception. Very nice. And zones away the prism. Stalkers, can they save it? There's a blink. They can. Yeah, Viking goes down. We're going for the warp in. But now Moja can focus everything and fix everything here at the 3rd. He's got 4 tanks, a good amount of bio. He will have 1-1 upgrades. Stim and combat shields. And Moja, he wants to commit. He wants to go for it. No, so LetaleX, he's supply blocked. Yeah, pylon just now being thrown down. Brutal supply block. He does commit. Zelt's coming for a flank. He gets 1, he gets 2 tanks. Yeah, 2, soon to be 3 tank kills, but can he break through the siege line? He's running out of Zelts. Yeah, he's running out of Zelts. 3 tanks go down, but those are still some heavy tank shots on the main army. Oh my god. Yeah, the Stalkers are very low. Without more zealots, I don't see LetaleX breaking this. It's not going to happen. Oh my god, another tank shot. Another tank following the stalkers. Decent force field. Joins back the army. And not bad. Now, what's important about what just happened here is that for the most part, LetaleX, he retained the stalkers. Quickly checking the battle report, 8 stalkers still went down. Like, those were some expensive losses there for LetaleX, losing 8 stalkers, but didn't lose any colossus. As LetaleX is claiming another base. Moja, now his defenses are stronger. He's got Liberation Zone set up. He's got his freedom. Also doesn't help that LetaleX was supply blocked when he was pushing. True. Doesn't help. As LetaleX peel off into the natural mineral land, at the same time Prism into the main. This time the tank and marines, they have moved out of position. They're not in the main base. There is a bunker, but it's further back, and we do go for the massive warp in. Yeah, nice damage so far. 14 SCV kills, going for the add-ons. Bunker will defend. That's still 15 workers going down, and add-ons. Getting a tank as well. Oh god. Getting 1 tank, getting a marauder. Do we get 2? 2 marauder kills. Remember, this is only minerals. It's only zealots. They trade well. 16 SCVs, 1 tank and 2 marauders. Very nice trade for LetaleX. And now he's getting up to 5? Getting up to 5 colossus. Yo, we heard you like lasers, Pappy. True, true. What's the Viking out looking like? 0. Well, hold on. 0 Vikings. Oh, right, the reactor was killed. True, the reactor was killed on the starport. So, again, we don't want to underestimate just the death of all those add-ons. 0 Vikings. And with 0 Vikings, these colossus, they're a big threat. Typically, you stop at 3 and you have to transition out because of the Viking count, but they're a 0. So this is a rare game where colossus, you can just keep making them. You just keep going. And LetaleX collapse in, takes down 1 tank. Just the 1. So 1 tank goes down, and then the colossi, they have to back up. Viking production has begun. We're waiting for extra zealot warp-ins. Mining is denied. And again, we got 5 colossus. And they're looking to start to step in. Warping in 11 zealots at a time. And now we come in. Now we come in. Nice EMP. There are some ghosts. There are some EMPs. And Liberators are doing what they can. And the zealots, they are going to be cleaned up. But they still trade well. They still trade well here. The way this works, the zealots are just buffering. They're just a meat shield. It's the colossus that deal the real damage in the back line. And they kill 14 SCVs. They break through 22 marines, 18 marauders. And the issue here, of course, is that LetaleX can afford these trades, right? He can afford to throw away zealots. He has the economy of 77 probes. Meanwhile, Moja can't afford these losses. His army is getting smaller and smaller over time. It's getting smaller. And we spoke about this at the start of the game. Remember what we said about Ruby Rock? Specifically, the 3rd and 4th base locations on this map are open. They're much more open, much more accessible. Which is why we were alluding to the Terran going for an all-in to punish that, but instead, Moja, he was a little more defensive. He built up in towards the mid-game, does catch 1 Colossus. He gets 1. But again, defending and rotating between this 3rd and this 4th base is very difficult. And LetaleX is just enjoying the rest of the map. Just enjoying the map. Taking more bases. Now, what I will say is that Moja's main army is actually looking quite terrifying itself. So if LetaleX takes 1 bad fight, if he attacks, loses his zealots, and then keeps pushing by accident and just overextends and maybe is overconfident, then there is a world where Moja can actually take a better fight over LetaleX. That can happen. and then instantly counterattack. Because the map is so small and because the rush distance is so short, like that can still be a possibility here for sure. But Moja really only has one good fight in him. One good fight. Nice EMPs. EMPs connect. Colossus, they wasted DPS on the CC. Yeah, that was like 2 or 3 volleys on the command center. Vikings, they bully back the Colossus. And again, a bit of a messy trade here from LetaleX, down to 3 Colossus from 5. EMPs connect. EMPs connect. Again, there's a lot of marauders here. Army moves in. There's only 2 Vikings. They can be focused down. And no target firing. There we go. Does focus down 1, 2. Does barely not get the final Viking. We need more Zealots. Warp in finishes. Final Viking should go down, and does. And LetaleX can now pull away. He can now pull away. Again, this was still a messy fight from LetaleX. He still lost more Colossi. He was not focus firing with the Stalkers. But once again, LetaleX, he can afford some bad trades. He can afford it. As now we're having fun, we're going into Shadow Stride. Shadow Stride is being researched. DTs are warping in. Moja does have a 4th base up and running, but he should not maintain this base. Like, no shot. Does spot the move out. Ooh, Prism goes down, trying to get into the main. Okay. Moja, if he can maintain a 4-base economy, he can max out. Oh. Do we have a scan? No. No shot. 0 scans, by the way. There we go. He EMPs. EMPs Dark Templar. Thankfully, had an EMP available. There's an alternate way to reveal hidden units. As we open 6 more DTs. There is now 1 scan available from the natural. And 1 scan from the 3rd. So we got some scans. Turret is now done as well. And here we commit. We try to commit. Once again, we get some wasted shots here from the Colossi. We have to back off. Running out of Zealots. Ooh. Yeah, LetaleX overextends. Another massive overextension. He's gonna lose everything. Losing 1, 2, 3, 4. Colossus go down. Ay, ay, ay. We mentioned this earlier, but you have to be so careful with this army control. Once you start losing Zealots, you have to pull out. You have to pull out, otherwise you will lose everything. And Moja, he got his fight. Keep going. Here comes a counterattack. We have to keep pushing. Protoss army is just so fragile. We have to be careful, Pappy. Had to look after it. As we have more Zealots coming in, and there might just not be enough bio here. Vikings force to land. Nice show point, but GG. Yeah, GG gets called. The Zealots are going to be enough here to overwhelm, and LetaleX, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on and knocking Moja out of the tournament. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Moja, he had 1 fight in him. He had 1 fight. Unfortunately, he had no economy behind it to really sustain himself. He had a 4th base, but he had 40 SCVs. Didn't have any workers, so he couldn't actually afford to lose the Ghost he was losing, or the Vikings, or the Liberators especially. Like, he was bleeding out units. Couldn't afford it. He had 1 strong fight. That's all he had. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations. LetaleX, he will claim the series. He will claim the series. He will advance on, and let us catch up on the brackets. Let's go. Let us go. Again, exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back yourselves. I don't think the liquidity page has been updated yet. We bring this up all the time, but hey, if you're out there, if you want to support if you want to, you know, in some way support StarCraft and support the community, in another way outside of just, you know, supporting on like Patreons or subscribing, you can do so via something like Wikipedia. we bring this up all the time, but a lot of the Wikipedia contributors are European based. There aren't many North America or America's based contributors, so as a result, very often when it comes to tournaments at this time slot, at this time zone, all the European editors are asleep. They're all asleep right now, so there are no updates made here to the brackets. But, you know, hey, if you happen to be watching events, whether it's this event or whether it's like Pegasus Cup, that's another big one, or like the Patches Patch Clash, or maybe even some of the Ladder Legends tournaments, very often a lot of the events that I just mentioned don't get updated. Very often, I say don't get updated, often it takes like hours before they get updated, as the Europeans wake up later on, of course, to recognize that, you know, a tournament happened and they start to update. So if you're out there, you know, do consider maybe contributing in your own way. And again, Wikipedia is open to editing from anyone, so you can just edit yourself. But here we go. Coming into the events, we did wrap up earlier with Cure versus Harsum. So Cure, he took down Harsum 2-0 to advance on here to the upper bracket. We then had Skillus. Skillus took down Art 2-0, so it's going to be Cure versus Skillus in the upper bracket semifinals. Scrolling down a little bit further here, we do have players waiting for their opponents, and they should now have them. Very quickly, just catching up. Actually, we can show off the challenge page, I suppose. Let's have a look. Give me the challenge. We'll see. I know the challenge page is huge, so bam, there it is. There we go. We have the challenge page. So scrolling all the way down. Oh, yeah. It's. Can we scroll down? Not quite. It's such a big bracket. You can see how many games are being played. Oh my god. With Eve, with MinoVK, Defiance, Percival, Solar, Fiance, Bunny, Rebellion. Someone was asking earlier why all the games aren't being showed on Wikipedia. This is why. It's a massive bracket. And Wikipedia, they often do have a cutoff point that they often don't show everything. So a bit of a fun fact: Wikipedia, they often, if there's like a bracket, like even like a single elimination like open tournament, say like a Sparkling Tunic Cup, if we have like a round of 32, often it only shows like the round of 16 on Wikipedia. Or if there's like a round of 64 in like a Pegasus Cup or like in a What is TV Monday, it cuts it off, and we often just show round of 16, like round of 16 onwards. Typically, they could show bigger brackets, but they often don't. They try to slim it down a little bit. Instead, try to slim it down. But we did have Arcfire versus MinoVK. That did wrap up earlier. The winner goes up against Lambo. True. Okay, so very quickly, hold on. So Arcfire took down MinoVK earlier, so it's going to be Arcfire versus Lambo in the lower brackets. I can just show that off. I guess I can show that off here. So you can see Lambo here in that lower bracket. I just highlighted his name. That's going to be Lambo versus Arcfire. Meanwhile, we did have Baby Marine versus Goblin. Goblin did take down Baby Marine earlier, of course. Did bring him down. And that's going to be Goblin advancing on into the next round as well. We also had a Jimmy. Jimmy took down Sebestos. I believe that's going to be Jimmy versus Cham in the next round. We have G Machine, who took down UD Soldier. And of course, LetaleX just took down Moja as well. So GG, well played. That is going to be Jimmy versus Cham. That's going to be Goblin versus Bunny. Oh, Goblin versus Bunny in that lower bracket. It is going to lead into GG Machine versus Young Yakov, and Moja is still waiting for his next opponent. Likewise, we have Rebellion, Fiance still to play, Milky Art still to play, and Eba versus Nickrack still to play their matches as well. So we still have ongoing games, ongoing matches. Again, this tournament is so big and so huge that usually it takes like around 3 months, like 2 to 3 months to actually go through the entire tournament. There you can see some of the matches. We have Eba versus Nickrack, Milky Cat versus Art, Fiat versus Rebellion. Here, we can see that LetaleX did just take down Moja, and he's waiting for his next opponents. G Machine, he's up against Young Yakov, and so on and so forth. Again, just massive brackets, So with that, GG well played. We are wrapping up here for the day. As you can see, we only have one broadcast today. this morning. We don't have a cast this evening. We do have the evening off, and you can see the rest of our schedule as well. When it comes to the next our schedule here, we're going to be live tomorrow with Amantis. Amantis the StarCraft is going to be tomorrow morning. We have Sparkling Tuna Cup tomorrow evening, and we have Pigasus Cup Wednesday morning. We have Kung Fu Cup. We have GSL. For those who are unaware, we were live casting the GSL finals last night. We were live casting the semis and finals over on Soup. We have the rebroadcast on Twitch and YouTube. That'll be on Thursday. It's going to be the rebroadcast. We have the Pondcast, we have StarCraft Evolution League, Code for Giants Cup, SDO, and more STC content. Plenty of StarCraft every single day. I will say that something did come up IRL, and our schedule might be a little bit leaner this week. I'll try to cast what I can, and there are some things that I'm like dedicated to, like Tuna Cups, for example. Like the show must go on. But we might end up cutting some of the, or rescheduling some of the morning broadcasts, just because, you know, things have happened. So maybe a little bit less available. Is this tournament the entire professional SC population? So I mentioned this earlier. For those who are unaware, the OSC mid-season playoffs, this tournament is basically like the world championship for online tournaments. That's why the bracket is so huge, because it's everyone who plays in online tournaments, basically. This means that you have basically everyone involved except for players like Serral, Raynor, and Maru, because they don't play in online tournaments. They do not play. But that's why if you scroll up, you've got like Max Pax, you've got Clem, or I believe we have Björn, we have Nightmare, we have Christianer, Cure, Hearthstone, Skillus, Geralt. Like, again, it's the best of the best here, except for players that don't play in online tournaments. So no Serral, no Raynor. There are certain players that are excluded from this. It's only players that compete in the OSC circuit. True. Just as a heads up. But yeah, that's why it's big. It's everyone's playing. Everyone's involved. But otherwise, we are going to be wrapping up here for the day. So thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your week. Hope you enjoy the content this week as well. If you missed out on GSL over the weekend, I do highly recommend checking out the VOD, because GSL was crazy. But it was crazy. A lot of fun games, a lot of fun matches. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. Maybe for Amantis, at least for Tuna Cup tomorrow. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, do support other SE streamers. Who's live at the moment? Who can we raid? I know that Pig is playing AoE. He's playing Age of Empires. Who is live? Yeah, Huck is streaming League of Legends. Yeah. It's the Huck. There's actually not many people live at the moment. Yeah, I don't see many people live at the moment, so we might just, yeah, we'll see. We'll figure it out. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao. If you want to support us, you can do so via following us on all the socials. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. Likewise, you can support us monetarily if you wish via Patreon. We do fund, Patreon does fund our tournaments on a regular basis, so it funds the Tuna Cups, the Duckling Open, and the Swan Open as well, all funded by Patreon. So thank you so much for all our patrons, thank you so much for all our supporters. We'll see you next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.